Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing okay in your part of the world today. So this is going to be another one of those top live TV prank calls, and this one's titled "Top TV Prank Calls C-SPAN QVC Local News Live TV Compilation." So let's get to it, Sean Scribers.
Our first call for you comes from Bradley. Bradley from Atlanta, Georgia, Democrats line. You're on with our guest. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to thank C-SPAN and Mr. Gorka. I just really look forward to when you and Corey Lewandowski, David Bossy, Don Jr., Jared Kushner, all of you are exposed for the treasonous bitches that you are.
The fool, the coward, the fraudulent boob in the office, the orange anus.
Well, Steve, let's dispense with the name calling.
We have a call here from Greece. Mike on our Independence line in Athens. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Wolfowitz. Can you fit a penis in that?
All right, lots of calls for you, Congressman. Jonathan, Portland, Oregon, Independent.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for C-SPAN.
Morning.
My comments for Mr. Larson. How about you stop looking at Greta's tits, you shit?
Okay.
I think they fight for the right not to vote because all politicians are cunt bags. Fucking cunt bags.
Okay, well, I apologize for that.
Glenn called in from Salt Lake City, Utah. Glenn, good morning.
Hi, good morning. My question is, since we're spending all this money, where are we getting the money from? And my second question is,
if I can shit in your mouth.
Apologize for that, Congressman.
The proof stands in his riddles of the pornos. Every Friday night he would go and rip pornos for the weekend for almost 2 years. The subject of every one of them was Black Bales, Long Dong Silver. He rented that 3 times before he finally bought it. He never rented a video about woman to woman.
Waco, Texas, Jed, Democrat. Hi, Jed, you're on the air. Go ahead. Jed, are you with us?
I like me.
All right, let's move on to first phone call, Malden, Massachusetts, Republican line. Tommy, what's on your mind?
Hi, I love C-SPAN. Detroit, I've been to many times. It should be leveled and made a huge marijuana dispensary.
Go ahead, Elk Grove.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Hey, just wanted to make a comment, about this is the first time in any election that, I voted Democrat, and that's because, all of the one-way street that the Republican Party seemed to be going, it sounded an awful lot like Howard Stern's butthole.
Moving on to Baltimore, Democrat line. Hello.
Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
My question is, do you respect Howard Stern's penis?
Getting a lot of crank calls today. Not sure why they're coming in. We'll try to crack down on them as best we can.
Next is Mark joining us from Jacksonville, Florida. Also on our line for all others. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Do you respect Howard Stern's penis?
Okay, apologize for that. We're going to continue with your phone call.
Please make sure you mute your television when you call in. And we will go first to John in Birmingham, Alabama. John's on our Republican line.
Yes, sir. I was just wondering, do you respect Howard Stern's penis?
Let's go to Sean in Minnesota.
Riley in Fremont, Michigan, Democratic caller. Riley, what do you think?
Hi, my question is, do you think Howard Stern has a big penis?
Spring Valley, New York, you're on with Frank Luntz. Go ahead.
Happy holidays, gentlemen. I just want to say that you were talking about the NSA earlier, the wiretapping. It's not about if it's me or you. It's about the fact that lately that this president's been running over our Constitution, just like they run over Howard Stern on Sirius Radio.
Oh my gosh!
We'll keep moving to Miami. First one we've gotten since Mr. Stern moved over to Sirius Radio. So,
do you have that issue where people call in about Howard Stern? And
yeah, we just kind of ignore him.
He's hard to ignore. He's a very
but that's our first one. So congratulations to that caller and Merry Christmas.
All right, thank you. We're going to go to Louisville, Kentucky for our last call for James Kitfield. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'd like to ask Mr. Kitfield what his opinion is on Halliburton being awarded or rewarded no big contracts. I'd also like to ask him his opinion on Howard Stern's tiny.
I have no real opinion on that last question. It's appropriate, though. We do have just a minute or two. That last call was a Howard Stern caller, and the group set out this morning on the Stern Fan Network to jam our lines, and that's the first call out of 68 that we got in the morning from a Stern caller. And they do, the way they do this is they record a whole program, and then they try to get in, and then they give it to Howard Stern, and then he runs it on his program, and everybody goes off and gets their lollipop and enjoys their weekend.
Right.
But I have to mention that because they had blogged all day, all week, that they were going to jam the line today. And, something happened. They just didn't get through.
Well, your intelligence is better than theirs.
Okay, thank you, caller. Next up, as we continue to look at the New York City skyline, is Newark, New Jersey. Good morning.
Howard Stern, dickhead!
Okay, it's going to be one of those mornings on this. We're going to try to clear our phone lines and make sure that we can avoid some of those calls.
Thank you. Pete is up next, Bay Village, Ohio, an independent there. Pete, what did you think of how the Democrats are portraying themselves and their candidate?
Yeah, well, I was listening to Bill Clinton tell his story tonight, and my mom came into my room to bring me a plate of chicken nuggets, and I literally screamed at her and hit the plate of chicken nuggets out of her hand. And she started
All right,
yelling.
Pete, we're gonna move on. Thanks. We're gonna move on to Jared from North Charleston, South Carolina.
Up next, Hannondale, Florida. Jed, good morning.
Yes, I'm from Atlanta originally, and so I like to read the Atlanta Journal-Constitution online. And it was very good for me when the snowstorm hit because I could keep in touch with my family. And the only thing is, it's quite distracting sometimes. It's quite distracting because you got all the other tabs and various shit going on, and zombie midget porn, and
Joyce is up next.
Thank you. Windsor, Ontario. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fine. Go ahead, please.
Great. First of all, I have a programming question. When I call in, how come you guys are looking at newspapers and circling things? And then I have a comment.
How come we're looking at newspapers and circling things? Well, the program has many purposes. Of course, your phone calls with guests that are coming in, and we read the news and opinion pieces from the papers. That's the basic structure of the program.
Okay, because when I call in, I expect you to give me your full fucking attention.
Okay, let's move on to Inverness, Florida. Hello.
Hello. I was wondering how you managed to screen the calls for the hotline, because it seems impossible to me to be able to verify whether there's an actual threat or not. I mean, for example, it's impossible for screeners to evaluate whether there are prank calls on here. Fuck. Hey.
All right, Terrence. Bob in D.C., a Republican. Bob, what did you think of last night's forum?
I'm a big supporter of Donald Trump because he's outside of the Washington bureaucracy, and I'm also a huge fan of the squirrel that died on his head.
All right, we're going to move on from there. I want to show you two of the candidates from last night's forum who are likely not to be, and then we'll go to that. Jed, I think it is, in San Francisco. Republicans been hanging on the line. Go ahead with your question or comment.
Yes, y'all have been talking about climate change and all kinds of other stuff, but the most pressing question for me is, what about the squirrel that died on Donald?
All right, we'll go ahead and Clearwater, Kansas. Republican. Art, do you have a question about human trafficking?
I sure do.
Okay.
And we'll move on to Bill in San Francisco. Bill, what do you think? Everybody gets a trophy.
I think everyone should get a trophy.
Why?
Because the Special Olympics is an example of a situation in which people should, kids who normally wouldn't feel very good about themselves, like schizophrenics and cripples and people of that nature, have the ability to feel positive about themselves. And also, I'll be voting for Deez Nuts in 2016.
There's a Republican in Detroit. Hi, Travis.
Hello. Speaking of new faces, I'm generally have voted Republican over the years, but recently I've become disillusioned with the party, and I found an independent candidate that's been getting some press lately called Deez Nuts, and I was wondering what your views on that were, what his chances are.
And I don't know if you want to address that, Mr. Forbes.
No, but I think you're going to see. By the way, talking about new names,
You're going to see more, I think, coming on the Democrat candidates. All of them are eligible for Social Security. What does that tell you? So there's going to be plenty of grist for the mill for traditional journalists and for the comedians as well.
And by the way, Deez Nuts has been identified as a 15-year-old farm boy in Iowa named Brady Olson.
Well, sadly, 15, you got to be 35, I think, under the Constitution to be president.
Robert, candidate named Deez Nuts.
Oh, no.
Really? A candidate registered as an independent from Iowa has the legal name of Deez Nuts.
No. Almost 1 in 10 voters in North Carolina say they prefer Deez Nuts.
That's right. 1 in 10 support Deez Nuts for president.
Deez Nuts, and a recent poll in North Carolina actually had him polling at about 9%.
You are kidding me.
This actually looks like a Deez Nuts third-party challenge might be able to swing the election a little bit.
Is he talented and skilled?
He may save the United States from whatever crisis we're in.
Deez Nuts might be our savior.
That's it.
Vote Nuts. Thank you. Okay.
Vote for Deez Nuts.
Or not.
Yes, that just happened. Journalism school, totally worth it.
And both frontrunners overshadowed by...
Say it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
For details, we turn to sing it, Mo.
Yeah.
But that's how you're supposed to say it.
Deez Nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez nuts. Deez nuts. Deez nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez nuts. Deez nuts. Deez nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez Nuts.
Deez Nuts.
What? Deez nuts. First name is Deez, last name Nuts.
Somebody actually filled out paperwork to run for president under the name Deez Nuts.
Have you heard about candidate Deez Nuts?
Yes, independent candidate Deez Nuts. He's polling at 9%.
Deez Nuts. There are about 500 random contenders out there, and it may seem like a joke, but some people have taken Mr. Nuts seriously.
Identify yourself.
What up, Council? My name is Chad Kroger. I'm an activist and house party enthusiast. Over the past week, I've been in a state of deep despair upon hearing the news that LA is trying to outlaw house parties in the Hollywood Hills. I am here determined to stop this future atrocity. House parties were the bedrock of my development as a young man in San Clemente.
Don't you mean atrocity?
My first introduction to manhood came when the captain of my water polo team, Boomer Kingsley, asked me to shotgun a tall can of Bud Light in front of the whole squad at his end of the season bash. His parents were in Tahoe at the time, so we tore that weekend up. It was epic, and I was super stoked. My newfound confidence gave me the courage to ask out the most popular girl in school, Lauren Stockholder, to prom that year. She rejected me, and I had to go with Stacey McMillan, but I didn't care because I was so amped on chugging with my boys. That's what house parties do. Raging at house parties is the truest way to party.
Next speaker, please come and identify yourself.
What up, Council? My name is JT Parr. I am also here to defend parties in the Hollywood Hills. I grew up like most kids, worried I couldn't bench 2 plates, that I wouldn't fit in, that I wouldn't find love. Then I discovered partying, and suddenly all those worries went to the wayside. I didn't need love. I had keg stands. I discovered I was great at raging, and it revealed wonderful things about myself. I could relate to bros regardless of what kind of bro they were. I could be at a party and moon people and everyone would laugh, be witty. Or I could play beer pong and compete with real integrity. In short, I fulfilled my potential. If you outlaw house parties, you may keep the volume down, but an externality is that you may keep people from bonding. America needs bonding. People need to put aside their differences and find common joy. There's no more effective environment for that than a frickin' rager. This is best exemplified in me and Chad's relationship. We were star-crossed. He a surfer, me a bodyboarder.
Thank you. And I want to welcome you to LA Council's Bill and Ted's excellent adventure.
Sean, what is your name, please?
My name is Frank.
Well, hello, Frank. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. I really need this doorbell.
Why do you need this, Frank?
Well, I live in a shoebox across from the train tracks, and I can never hear when I have my people over to visit.
Okay.
Right.
If I have this doorbell, then I'll know when my people is at the door. Oh, hold on a second. There's people at the door. Hello? Hello? Oh, that's weird. There's nobody there. I live in a shoebox.
Well, excellent. We're so glad this is going to solve a problem for you.
I think you two sure make handsome boyfriends for each other. What the? People's at the door again. I gotta go now. Who is it?
I did not expect Tom Mabe to be in there, but that was funny. And that QVC at the end there. Oh man. Well, if there's a similar video like this that you'd like for me to react to, comment the title of it and who did it if you don't mind sharing. These are so great. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for loving and supporting this channel, and I encourage you to do so even more. I'm gonna close this off here, but do please subscribe at the bottom for more content. Don't forget to like and share this video. Also, hit that bell below to keep up to date with my video releases and posts. Also, comment below on a video you think I should react to next. And as always, guys, take care and God bless everybody.